Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato. Welcome back to Let's Play Perfect Dark for the Narwhal Entertainment 8-year anniversary. We're basically done with the game now. I just kind of want to explore one of the best tutorials in gaming, the Carrington Institute. Because if you press B out of the select menu, you can explore. You can push a couch around.
Joanna, it's good to
Hey,
see
Daniel.
you. Come with me. I'll walk you around the training rooms.
Sure. He's going to give us a tour of the Institute, then we're going to do some cool stuff. Well, some cool stuff, a lot of reading descriptions of items and people and places. Because, hey, I'm curious, and... I mean, if you're not curious, this video is entirely optional.
The information center is through this door.
Alright. There is some training stuff, cool stuff to do, like the combat sim room. Not going to probably do much of the firing range, though. There's no real point to it, in my opinion. Well, for my Let's Play, there's no point to it.
In here we have the device lab.
This is going to be fun.
Hello.
I just don't have the patience for this.
Yeah, that's your boss walking by. You should probably not say something like that. Unfortunately, Carrington does not know how to use the elevator, so you have to do that for him. Come on, look me in the eye, old man. I like Daniel Carrington, he's cool. I like his suit, it's nice. I don't know why he's wearing spats, though.
This leads to the simulant training room.
Awesome. No, you can't punch him. Oh, in these displays, these are weapons from GoldenEye, which are all unlockable
This is the fire.
if you want to bother.
Hi.
You don't really need to unlock all of them. They're not as good as your as the game's main weapons. They don't have alternate firing modes, and they all have the same target reticule like GoldenEye. Where are you taking us, Carrington?
This corridor leads down to the hangar.
Cool.
Okay, Joe, I'll leave you to prepare for the mission.
Okay, so let's play around in the firing range a bit. Look at some of these. We got that's the famous PPK. I think that I know what that is, but I can't remember the name of it. It's the other pistol. Got a submachine gun. Assault rifle. The famous Kalashnikov from the first level.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you what to shoot at.
You? No, probably not you. We got a submachine gun. Another submachine gun. AR-33, which is the predecessor of the AR-34 from this game.
Hello.
Alright, weapons available. Falcon 2. Accurate and trustworthy, this gun is the workhorse of the Institute operations. Use the laser sight to place bullets with deadly effect, or pistol whip adversaries to knock them out. Falcon 2 Silencer, an upgraded Falcon 2, which has the added benefit of being silent, but deadly. Falcon 2 Scope, an upgraded Falcon 2 featuring a 2x magnification scope, which allows you to take advantage of the Falcon's superior accuracy. MagSec 4, a state-of-the-art military pistol. Largely used by peacekeeping forces, it has a slight zoom capability and boasts a 3-round burst secondary fire mode. This is by Chesluk Industries, by the way. These ones are by Carrington. Then we got, because this is just a list of every single weapon in the game, and like little flavor text about them. It's cool. I quite like it. Mauler Skadar. If you see a Skadar coming at you, the chances are it's carrying one of these. A large magazine and a bladed barrel make the pistol a formidable handgun. But the killer blow comes from the secondary function: charge the shot up for extra power at the cost of a few rounds of ammo. Mayan Phoenix. The Mayan standard issue sidearm, a flexible gun. The pistol fires standard shot or explosive shots at no cost to the rest of the magazine. DY-37 Magnum by Datadyne. The Datadyne DY-357 is the most powerful handgun in the world. Each round has an impressive penetration factor and knocks the target back with the weight and power of the shot. Custom models are made for valued clients. NSA Director Trent Easton is rumored to have a gold-plated variant. DY-357LX, also by Datadyne. The DY-357LX was custom built for NSA Director Trent Easton. Besides boasting an attractive, genuine tiger skin grip, this golden gun features a velocity-optimized barrel, meaning that each bullet always meets its target with fatal force. So yes, this is the one Trent Easton used in the game. We got to use a pair of them in Area 51 Mayan SOS, and it's this game's equivalent to the golden gun. CMP-150 Datadyne. A Datadyne classic and a bestseller, this submachine gun boasts a 32-round mag and a special feature: the ability to designate and lock on to targets in the line of sight. It turns an average marksman into an excellent one, provided he or she is clever enough to operate the gun. Average fire rate, 900 rounds per minute. Cyclone, Cheslak Industries. Designed for use by bodyguards, the Cyclone has been adopted by presidential security due to its excellent capability when used for suppression. In extreme circumstances, it can more than double the fire rate, discharging the magazine in a second. Average fire rate, 900 rounds per minute, unloads at 2,000 RPM. Yeah, we used that on Area 50 on Air Force One. Callisto NTG Mayan. Another example of excellent Mayan firearm design. It can fire standard shots as fast as any other SMG, or it can fire high-velocity rounds which will easily penetrate objects to find targets hiding in cover. The only drawbacks with the secondary fire mode are that the fire rate is lower and the accuracy suffers from the power of the shot. Average fire rate, 900 rounds per minute. And it looks like the head of a xenomorph. RCP-120 by Cheslak Industries. The Carrington Institute secret weapon. It fires at a phenomenal rate and has a huge magazine capacity. The secondary mode is a cloaking device that runs off the ammunition in the magazine. A devastating weapon. Average fire rate, 1,100 rounds per minute. Laptop gun by Carrington. A submachine gun made to look like a laptop PC in disguised form. The gun cannot fire, but when activated, it unfolds into shape. The PC gun will not bear close inspection. It will boot up, but the memory is a quarter of what it is supposed to be. Average fire rate, 1,000 rounds per minute. Also, it can be made a sentry gun, which is real cool. Dragon Datadyne. A standard assault rifle with an evil twist. When the secondary mode is activated, it becomes a proximity-activated mine that looks like a gun. Average fire rate, 700 rounds per minute. K7 Avenger by Datadyne. Another piece of high-tech kit from the Datadyne. Ordinarily an assault rifle with a smallish magazine and a powerful punch. It has a threat detection mode that highlights explosives, wall guns, and similar hazards. Average fire rate, 950 rounds per minute. This was a cool weapon, which was experimental back in the second level of the game. AR-34, the Carrington Institute's main assault rifle. A good range and magazine size make it a useful weapon. The secondary mode enables the user to move while zoomed in on a target. Average fire rate, 750 rounds per minute. Super Dragon by Datadyne. A variant of the Dragon assault rifle. Instead of a proximity explosive, it has a small grenade launcher. Excellent support weapon. Average fire rate, 700 rounds per minute. Shotgun by Datadyne. A Datadyne weapon manufactured for security forces. A 9-cartridge magazine combined with single or double fire modes make it a dangerous close quarters weapon. And my favorite weapon in the game. It's so nice. Reaper Skadar, a truly terrifying weapon in the hands of someone strong enough to control the massive recoil. For anyone else, a highly unwieldy but effective corridor clearance weapon. Maximum fire rate, 1800 rounds per minute. It's cool. Sniper rifle. With a powerful zoom and a high-velocity bullet, this Carrington Institute weapon is one of the best sniper rifles ever made. Crouch down for perfect accuracy. Farsight XR-20. The Farsight rifle is a Mayan hybrid of an X-ray scanning device coupled with a rifle that can shoot through solid objects. The scope can lock onto and track life sources, though the device does not pan as fast as a running enemy can move. Datadyne Devastator, a long-range grenade delivery system manufactured by Datadyne. The secondary fire mode coats the grenade with a sticky substance. When fired, the bomb attaches itself to a wall or ceiling. After a few seconds, it detaches to fall to the ground, where it detonates. Rocket Launcher, Datadyne. A cumbersome weapon, fires either a standard rocket or a slower homing rocket when locked on to the unfortunate target. Slayer, Skadar. The Skadar enjoy seeing the terror of their enemies. It seems natural that they should have a remote-controlled rocket as a secondary fire mode on their basic rocket launcher, so that they can take pleasure from the prey's vain attempts to escape the closing projectile. Combat Knife. A large and vicious combat knife. It contains a vial of poison that shatters when thrown, giving a wounded enemy at most 6 seconds to live. A Datadyne weapon through and through. It's a cool weapon. Crossbow. This crossbow is a short-range, pistol-sized example mounted on a Carrington Institute agent's wrist. It folds up to aid concealment and can fire up to 5 bolts, either the more usual drug shots or a lethal bolt. Tranquilizer. A rapid-fire device. It can be used as a weapon in an emergency, but it is designed primarily as a dermal spray injector for sedative drugs. Users are advised that a full discharge of the drug's reservoir can be fatal, which is how you get the lethal injection. Carrington Laser. The laser is wrist-mounted and deadly accurate. It can either fire long-range pulses, or it can sustain a constant, concentrated stream of energy at short range. Yeah, it's not really meant to be a weapon even in the game. It's meant to open the safe. Grenade. An updated version of the trusty grenade. Can be thrown with a 4-second fuse or used as a bouncing proximity bomb. Timed mine. A mine with a short timed fuse. It has a threat detection evaluation sensor that can be activated as a secondary mode. Proximity Mine, a mine with a proximity fuse. It has a threat detection evaluation sensor that can be activated as a secondary mode. And Remote Mine, a mine that can be triggered remotely. The activated command is the secondary mode. Now, unfortunately, there is no entry for the N-bomb, aka neutron bomb, or for the psychosis gun. Let's do one of the challenges. Or at least try it. I'm not promising to succeed. Let's basic Falcon. Well, that's basically the firing range. I'm not really going to do all the tests. Find someone else's Let's Play for that. It's to unlock these weapons in multiplayer, but I don't really want to bother. Also, if you complete all of them on bronze or silver, I think, you get the duel as a mission to do. But we already did that mission because I used cheats to unlock it, but not that great a reward, frankly.
Hi, what can I do for you?
I'd like to do some simulant training. Hollow 1, looking around. A good agent notices everything around him or her. Training instructions: examine all the objects by looking directly at them. There's one more we're missing. Alright, there we go. Alright, movement 1. Sidestepping and strafing can get you out of trouble. Activate all the switches in front, be quick though. Alright. What's next? Movement 2. Ducking and crouching can open new areas for exploration. Work your way through the obstacles using moves available to you. Activate the switches. No, that's all. There's only 2 switches? Alright, cool. Unarmed combat. Fighting multiple opponents in hand-to-hand combat can be difficult. Knock out all enemies without getting hit. Alright, unarmed combat 2. Disarming an enemy can get you a weapon. Training instructions: knock out, disarm all enemies without getting hit. Okay, live combat 1. Fighting multiple opponents in hand-to-hand combat. Beat all the unarmed enemies without getting hit. Alright. Live combat 2. Fighting multiple opponents, both armed and unarmed. Beat all the enemies. Oh, wow, already? Okay. No! Okay, well, not getting hit. Shut up.
Training, huh?
Not getting hit isn't really my strong point, so let's just move on with with the rest of the stuff. Data uplink. Provides a link from the field agent to the Institute hackers back at HQ, who can then download data or crack electronic locks remotely. Use the data uplink to hack the terminal in the corner, unlock his secret door.
Hey there.
Hi.
This is some really cool stuff. You get to practice with all of the little gadgets and stuff in the game. Generally, I recommend doing this before playing the game. Same with the combat simulation, all this stuff. But I didn't want the first episode of my Let's Play to just be let's just walk around doing tutorials. So I made it a skippable bonus episode. ECM mine emits a constant shifting signal designed to jam any electronic communications device. Must be placed on object to be effective. Training instruction: throw the ECM mine onto the lightning hub located through the secret door. Dang it. Okay, let's abort. I'm bad at aiming. Should be a well-known fact by this point that I'm bad at aiming, but... Okay. There we go. Oh, be sure that the mine will land the correct place by getting as close as you can to the target. Adjust your aim using the C buttons in aiming mode. Cam Spy. Tiny remote camera for stealthy exploration. Equipped for special spectroscopic holography. Opens doors by projecting a human-sized pulse of heat. Training instructions. Holograph the hacker's terminal in the next door to the info room. Alright. I don't really like using the cam spy, so we're gonna get close as we can before doing it. Alright, Cam Spy is not invisible. Enemies may spot it, so be careful when entering an inhabited area. Remember that the Cam Spy will remain where you left it unless it is picked up. Night Vision. Enhances any visible light to produce an image of the surrounding area. Also highlights life forms, overloads in normal light conditions, whiting out the display. Head into the darkness, find the light switch, and activate it to turn the lights back on. Yay, alright. Useful in combat, but can cause problems when overloading. Try to anticipate such situations and react before the enemy. Door decoder! Standalone code-breaking device attached to the control panel and sifts through the possible combinations until the lock is opened. Find the pad by the locked door and use the door decoder on it to unlock the door. Alright. This was only used in, like, G5 building, if I remember correctly. If you're having trouble attaching the decoder, stand close to the target and try standing close to the target and facing it. R tracker. This is pretty simple. Locates a particular object on a HUD radar map. Shows the relative bearing and distance. Relative bearing and distance. Activate the tracker and follow the radar signature to retrieve the item. Alright. This is a passive gadget. Hey, we got the IR scanner. The tracker only indicates direction and relative height. It doesn't display a map guiding you to the target. Pay attention to your surroundings and be prepared to explore. IR scanner. Translates the thermal data into visible images. Can be used in darkness and will also reveal anomalies such as hidden doors and weak wall sections. Training instructions. Turning on the IR scanner. Find the hidden door and open it. Alright. This is a very useful weapon in the underwater level, in the Seaton. There you are. The visor narrows your peripheral vision, which can cause problems in combat. Be sure of your situation before you use it. X-ray scanner. Only use this like once, I think, in Area 51. Used to look through otherwise solid walls and objects. Can see things that the night vision and IR scanner cannot. With the X-ray scanner on, search for the 2 hidden switches and activate them to turn off the laser grid. Ooh. Trippy. If you use this device at the wrong time, it could cost you your life, since it can prevent you from seeing anything beyond a certain distance. Use sparingly. Disguise. Allay suspicions by the use of a disguise, but always be alert for the possibility of being unmasked by a quick-witted enemy. Grimshaw has a cloaking device waiting to be serviced. Head next door and acquire it from him. Oh no, we have to sneak through the... This is gonna be a bad idea, alright. Didn't know going through the vents in disguise would work, because clearly we're not actually who we're disguised as if we're coming in through the vents instead of the front door.
pick up the equipment.
Here you go. Don't drop it now.
Thank you, Grimshot. A disguise is not just the clothing, it is the manner of the person wearing it. Don't behave out of character for the person you are trying to be. Cloaking device. Disrupts the visible spectrum of light around the wearer, creating an almost perfect chameleon-like effect. This field is disruptive when the wearer fires. Activate the cloaking device and head to Carrington's office to surprise him. Alright. What I like about this is like unlocking all the various bits of it and using them as the training progresses. It's really, really cool, I find.
Joanna, where did you spring from? I think we can safely say your training is now complete.
Yay! We passed all the gadgets. Preserve the supply of the cloaking device when there is no one around to observe you. Avoid firing unless absolutely necessary until you are assured of the success of your attack.
Hiya.
Alright. Now we just have the information room. Character profiles. Joanna Dark. Name Joanna Dark. Age 23 years 2 months. Oh, interesting. Interesting thing about why we're doing this one. The time that this video and the last few videos have been coming out, it is 2023. This game takes place in 2023. Yeah, Joanna's 23 years old, human female. CI file number 27. Training status complete. Grade A++. Active status assigned. Profile highly trained but inexperienced. Reactions superb. Proficient with a variety of weapons. Very competent all-round agents. Highest record training scores result in the creation of a new class of training grade. The embodiment of the Carrington Institute's ideal agent. The call sign Perfect Dark. Daniel Carrington. Name Daniel Carrington. Age 62 years. Human male. CI file not available. Profile intelligent, patriarchal scientist, entrepreneur, and founder of the Carrington Institute. Plans all missions carried out by his agents and runs each operation direct from a link in his office. Strange taste in clothes. Mr. Blonde. Name Mr. Blonde. Race unknown. An age unknown. Race Skedar, disguised. This is a Skedar warrior lurking within a holographic projection of a striking blonde young human male in his late 20s. The oral modulation unit gives the Skedar a precise, persuasive, and intelligent voice. It is a propaganda and manipulation tool for the Skedar, and an unusually subtle one. Trent Easton. Age 46 years, race human. Analysis note. Head of the National Security Agency has a friendship of sorts with Cassandra DeVries, although it operates more like a partnership of interest. He will tend to do what Cassandra says, possibly because although he has a dominant personality, it is not as dominant as hers. Figurehead for some of the rogue elements in the NSA. Cassandra DeVries. Age 39 years. The head of the Datadyne Corporation, addicted to power, dislikes being anybody's underling, hates when she loses the initiative. Is prepared to do extremely unscrupulous things in order to get ahead of her competition, to wit, Daniel Carrington, whom she loathes. Elvis. Name Elvis. Age 320, Profile. An alien from the Mayan race, he is a protector, bodyguard for the Mayan ambassador who travels to Earth at Daniel Carrington's request. Protectors are trained to excel in the use of assortment of weaponry. Elvis is a terraphile, finding Earth and everything about it fascinating. Dr. Carroll. 6 months, race the Carroll, sapient AI. An artificial intelligence created by the Datadyne Corp with an emphasis on language skills and code breaking. Fortunately, he has morals, and due to his formidable level of intelligence, has guessed some of Datadyne's future plans. The voice is highly precise and educated and simulates the character of an academic. The U.S. President. Age U.S. President. Named the U.S. President. Age 50. Highly educated, shrewd African-American who is trying to do what is right but is surrounded by people like Trent Easton. He believes he has Trent under control after refusing the request for the loan of the Pelagic II to the Datadyne Corporation, perceived as being easily led by the majority of political competitors, which is perhaps unfair. Jonathan. Name Jonathan. Age 28 years, 5 months. He did not appear in that suit in the game. He had a blue jumpsuit, but whatever. CI File 009. Training status complete. Grade A+, active status undercover. Most experienced undercover agent, highly accurate with his chosen weapon, a Magnum revolver, perfectly suited to undercover missions, less suited to out-and-out combat. Before joining the Dark, he held the honor of having the highest recorded training scores. Mayans. The Mayans are a race of aliens that have come to be known on Earth as Greys. They've been monitoring Earth for a long time, several centuries, and are benevolent towards mankind. Sensing great potential in the human race, their contact on Earth is Daniel Carrington. A formal political contract has yet to be made. Skidar Warrior. Skidar are a warlike alien race who have fought the Mayans for centuries and have only recently agreed to a ceasefire. They tend to use mechanized armatures to walk about and fight in, since they are in actual fact smaller snake-like creatures, very aggressive. They have made war a religion and are extremely devout. Background. Millions of years ago, a huge alien ship of immense power was scuttled in the Pacific Ocean. It was equipped with an untried and vastly dangerous weapon, the weak nuclear force decoupler, which could in theory cause the fundamental bonds between molecules to fail, so that watching eyes would believe in the destruction of the ship. A message pod was dispatched to the home galaxy, and vital components of the ship's drives were destroyed in the star system it had chosen as a hiding place. For the ship was a Cetan, a massive sentient alien creature, another extraterrestrial race. The Mayans encountered life on Earth in 2000 BC. They saw great potential, but they decided to let the primitive human race develop without their interference. The Mayans encountered the Skidar near Delta Eridanus in 1650 AD, Earth date, and the resultant skirmish soon blossomed into an all-out war. Only after hundreds of years of fighting did an uneasy peace develop, and even then the Skidar fanatics persistently tested the boundaries of this peace with terrorist activities. Fortunately, the Mayans refused to be drawn. Mankind, too, continued to be the cause of concern for the Mayans, and they watched with disappointment as Earth suffered more and more crises brought on by the rise of technology and outside context situations. They feared that announcing their presence would only precipitate further wars on the planet, and quietly decided to continue their observation until the race became more mature. Daniel Carrington jumped the gun in 1985 AD by contacting a Mayan ship in orbit above Earth. He put forward a plan that would help both parties, resulting in accelerated contact between humans and Mayans. Having agreed that his plan was sound and finding him to be a person of integrity, the Mayans allowed Carrington to release their technology to the public domain through his considerable research and development holdings. Then, in 2006 AD, Skidar fanatics stumbled across the C-10 message pod. They immediately began to scout Earth in a particularly heavy-handed way, abducting people and manipulating animals in an attempt to determine the location of the lost battlecruiser. In time, their tests inevitably led them to the resting place on the bed of the Pacific Ocean. However, in order to actually reach it, they would need the help of the natives. Performing their own study of Earth, the Skidar came up with a short list of companies possessing the resources to help them recover the sunken ship. At the top of the list was the Datadyne Corporation. They contacted the company head, Cassandra DeVries, and presented her with a deal that sounded too good to be true, which of course it was. In return for helping to raise their ship from the ocean floor, Skidar promised to supply Datadyne with enough alien technology to become the biggest corporation on the face of the planet. All that Datadyne had to do was build an AI unit with language and code-breaking abilities, which was tricky, but certainly within their means. Work commenced on the project immediately. Cassandra DeVries approached NSA head Trent Easton with the details of the plan, but his attempts to get presidential approval for the loan of a deep-sea research vessel were repeatedly turned down. There's no way the Skedar Datadyne could steal the vessel without triggering the wrath of the US government, so over time they settled instead on a far more sinister plan of replacing the president with a clone that they could control. Of course, this also promised extra rewards for Trent and Cassandra when the Skedar operation was consigned to history. However, they will not be given much time to gloat. The Skedar Fanatic's ultimate plan was to test the weak nuclear force decoupler on Earth before wiping the Mayans out of existence. And both Cassandra and Trent remained blind to the possibility of being double-crossed, so enamored were they with the visions of power and luxury that lay ahead. But Datadyne unwittingly created something that could see all too clearly the danger within this multi-layered conspiracy. Sapient AI built to crack the core access code of the Seton ship when it expressed concern over the mission for which it had been designed. Cassandra's response was to order its personality removed. Clearly it was thinking too much. In desperation, and in a move which would make or break a great deal more than Datadyne's deal with the Skedar, the Sapient adopted the pseudonym Dr. Carroll and contacted the Carrington Institute with a plan for help. The story. Okay, I'm not going to read through all this, because it's just a sum-up of what we've been doing the whole game. Cheats. You don't really need cheats, sorry. I have my own. Yeah, these are the cheats we've unlocked. Fun. Gameplay. Not a lot we've uncovered. Weapons. Classic weapons. More weapons. Buddies. Velvet Dark. Which is who you have in
Know your enemy.
cooperative
That's
agent.
what I always say.
Now, I remember there's something on, like, buildings, but I might be wrong.
What is it, Joanna?
Nothing. Anyway, this concludes Perfect Dark, unless I can get a friend over to do some co-op with. But yeah, until then, let's. I'm just gonna explore the hangar first before we end it off. Sorry, it's been a slightly lower energy one. Just this isn't really high tense action or anything. I'm sorry I'm not reading that story thing. If you want to read it, go ahead. If you want to play the game yourself and read it, fine. Or find it on the wiki or something. But I don't feel the need to describe the plot of something that I feel actually got its plot across fairly succinctly and well. It's not like this was GoldenEye or anything. And I'm just going to play around this bike for a bit. I'll see you in whatever I decide to do next. Ciao. Hi, thanks for watching. This has been played and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato. The art was by Rafael Agrona. You can find a link to their commission page in the description below. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time. Ciao!